No, this video is not clickbait. And no, this has absolutely nothing to do with the solar eclipse on Monday, April 8th, 2024, besides the moon itself being the topic. No, this isn't some symbolic or esoteric belief where the moon will be in this specific place at this specific time that will then pass over and fulfill X, Y, or Z. No. This is 100% a scientific fact. The moon is rusting. Shalom, Irene, peace. It is I, your brother in Christ. In 2020, the discovery of rust on the moon was made using data collected by NASA's Moon Mineralogy Mapper M3 instrument, which was aboard India's Chandrayaan-1 spacecraft. M3 is a spectrometer that measures the reflectance of sunlight off the lunar surface at various wavelengths, providing information about the minerals present. Scientists analyzing M3 data found evidence of hematite, a form of iron oxide commonly known as rust on the moon's surface. Hematite requires both iron and oxygen to form, and the moon's surface has plenty of iron. And as you know, the moon lacks an atmosphere, so the implication that a presence of oxygen on the moon's surface was a shocking discovery. Whilst this is still a newer find, with plenty of research still to be had, the general scientific consensus is this. The oxygen likely comes from the Earth's upper atmosphere, where it interacts with the solar wind and is carried to the moon's surface. Because of the shifting of the poles, it's made this more frequent. So therefore, the conditions are completely satisfactory to rust the moon. To their best knowledge, there will be virtually no effect on the Earth besides an aesthetic change from a human visual perspective of the moon. A perspective and scientific certainty based on the rust alone. This channel agrees with this scientific consensus. A rusty moon is not the end of the world. The moon is basically going to be covered in hematite. And it will and has already begun to change its color or its hue. You will begin to notice every day from now on the moon's hue is getting redder. And this hue will be permanent at some point in the future. It's unknown how long it will take, but it is happening. The moon will no longer be the white/gray moon dust, but hematite or bloodstone. The moon will be blood red permanently. Joel 2:31. The sun will be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes. Acts 2:20. The sun will be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood before the great and glorious day of the Lord shall come. Revelation 6:12. I looked when he broke the sixth seal, and there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth made of hair, and the whole moon became like blood. The Koine Greek used in both the Acts rendering of Joel's prophecy and the sixth seal for the word blood reads as follows. And the moon will become, and the whole moon will become like Hema. Now, there have been many theories as to what this could be. A lunar eclipse, the absence of the sun, an allegory to a nation or king. But right now, in 2024, the moon is quite literally turning into hematite or blood before our very eyes. NASA hasn't given a timetable as to when it will fully turn into blood, 5, 7, 10, 100, or even 1,000 years. The timetable is completely irrelevant in part, because at some point, it will be blood red. Confirmed 100% fact. The Bible called it right, thousands of years beforehand. It is a future fulfillment. So that's a big win for the futurists. I say it's irrelevant in part, the timetable, because if the Bible is right about the color change, do you suppose it's right about what that change means or implies? That when the moon is blood red, Jesus comes back. Now, I find it interesting that while the Third Temple, red heifer sacrifices, one world religion government, Israel as a nation, wars, and rumors of wars can all be speculated on and halted by human hands, the moon is turning blood red regardless of man. The day of the Lord is a set day. The countdown has just begun in the night sky. The question is, are you ready?